Night falls. The curtain opens. A gasp, a hush. Our neighbors are silent, and we are led as one into a strange dimension. A dimension not only of sight, but of sound. A dimension not only of lies, but of control. Woven by spiders in dark places, built of symbols and signs and sigils, we are ensnared by their silver threads. Chaos given form, delusion enthroned upon the altar of truth. Strange magic clouds our minds like incense from pagan altars, and we are transformed. Hollywood's most cunning creations are not on the movie screen, but sit breathless before it. Special guest stars in the dual role of initiates and sacrifice. Hello, freaks and freethinkers. This is Radio Ghost Town, and I'm your host, Deep Amber, coming to you from the relative safety of an undisclosed location. Tonight, we continue our ongoing series, The Serpent Whispers, investigating and exposing the greatest conspiracy in the history of the world. Now, by way of review, the serpent's grand conspiracy against mankind has at its core a master plan, and the master plan has three main elements. The foundational lie on which all lesser lies are built, the charade, aka elaborate pageantry meant to distract and conceal while entrancing and seducing, and the end goal. In case you don't know it, freaks and freethinkers, Hollywood is all about the charade. Have you noticed the power visual entertainment has over you? The synergy of sight and sound, of story and music, of actor and environment. Some might call it magic, and they would be correct. Now, to my scientifically minded audience, just because those people believe in the power of ritual and number, no one expects you to. And when I speak of the occult, please do not picture witches in pointy hats. I know you, and that will only make you think this is all silly nonsense. Picture instead the ancient mystery schools of Babylon and of Egypt, a society of people handing down through the ages hidden ways to manipulate and control our world and the people in it, in part due to a deep understanding of the human mind. Better? Good. I thought so. Of course, as we'll discover later, the sages of your chosen religion, yes, scientism is a religion, are themselves deeply entangled in occult thought. So stay tuned, take notes. I look forward to your hate mail. But now, let's take a bite out of Tinseltown. As the saying goes, politics is downstream from culture, but what they don't say is culture is downstream from Hollywood, and Hollywood is the feculent overflow of Satan's toilet. What if I told you that Hollywood has been, from its inception, designed to abuse your children and control your mind? Well, that's exactly what I am telling you. And we're going to spend the next however many episodes tracking the serpent through La La Land. We begin with the question, why? Why are petty, egocentric people who play make-believe for a living not only admired, but actually worshipped? Why are so many celebrities going certifiably insane? Why is it career suicide to be a practicing Christian or conservative when the message of Hollywood is express yourself and you do you? Why do movies and TV shows have such control over the masses? And perhaps most importantly, why do we, despite all warning signs, still assume that they mean us no harm? To discover the truth, we will have to discard everything we think we know, everything we've been told, everything we've been programmed to believe. Step back and look for the lie. You see, the modern-day roster of stars is the new Greek pantheon. They are the gods and goddesses of the new age. Average people you and I know, though of course none of us, right? Freaks and freethinkers, we're too clever, aren't we? Will fight you tooth and nail if you say something against one of their favorite celebrities. They will weep for them, will forgive them any sin, will bring them dutiful offerings of time, money, and attention. And I'll tell you why. Because it is indeed magic. Let's add another pin to our conspiracy board, shall we? This one goes in a little note card on which we've written occult knowledge. And we'll take a bit of red yarn and connect it to the serpent on one side and Hollywood on the other. Have you ever listened to the vocabulary these people use to describe their work? It's almost entirely supernatural. Actors describe the process of becoming a character as channeling. They throw around terms like possessed and out-of-body experience. Now, admittedly, these are phrases and concepts that permeate our culture, but Hollywood is why they permeate our culture, so that does not let them off the hook. Most of us are familiar with the concept of method acting. We've heard it used, he's a method actor, and it impresses us, but we don't know why. Enter a man named Konstantin Stanislavski, born in Russia in 1863. To a wealthy family in an era when every facet of Russian society was influenced by spiritualism and the occult. He developed his Stanislavski method in the early 1900s, and it later became just the method or method acting here in America. Stan gave great import to the subconscious mind and to self-actualization, the knowledge of self and self-construction. No wonder Hollywood is so full of self-aggrandizing egotists. And fun fact, did you know self-deification is an essential step in becoming a practitioner of the dark arts? Weird, isn't it? But wait, what's this? The Stanislavski method, i.e. method acting, makes extensive use of yoga. What are the odds? Now, before you ask, yes, I am going to keep harping on yoga. And the more you write me defending, complaining, and name-calling, the more it convinces me you need to hear it. What strange power does this harmless stretching hold over you anyway? But back to Stan. In method acting, which is still lauded and practiced by the stars of stage and screen, one creates one's character in one's head. Every detail, every nuance, until the character is a fully developed person with thoughts, emotions, and motivations of its own. Fantastic mental energy is poured into the creation, one might say the conjuring, of this new persona. This practice exists elsewhere under another name, tulpomancy. A tulpa is an occult concept from the New Age religion of Theosophy. Funny thing about Theosophy, it was invented by Madame H.P. Blavatsky, also from Russia, who stalked the planet between 1831 and 1891. It's curious, isn't it? Two historical figures from the same era who both studied Eastern mysticism and whose legacies live on to this day in the entertainment capital of the world, would both invent the same funny little exercise. Tulpomancy, when not helping Heath Ledger, Christian Bale, Tom Hanks, and others get into character, is a very unsettling practice which your kids have probably already learned about on the internet. Because as we know, culture is downstream from Hollywood. A simple search reveals stories from heartwarming to terrifying about tulpa experiences. Next follows some so easy a child could do it step-by-step guides to creating your own tulpa. Here described as an imaginary friend so real that it becomes sentient and acts independently. In other words, quickly grows beyond your control. To quote a practitioner, it's like having a second person living within your body. We Christians have a name for that phenomenon as well. It's called demonic possession. And when you're ready, you give me a call because Jesus can set you free. So, method acting and tulpomancy are largely the same ritual, the summoning of entities from beyond the veil by the concentrated will of the practitioner. It began among the beautiful people and has now naturally trickled down to their adoring audience. Of course, not everyone who tries this process will be successful at it. There are dunces in every class, and this is important, participating in ritual, unknowingly or incompetently, or both, still puts you in tremendous danger. Take a look around your local social media site sometime. You'll see videos of the younger generation introducing you to their alternate personalities. You'll hear stories about their dream guides and jokes about sleep paralysis demons. If they're not really psychologically disturbed, they'll happily pretend to be, mimicking their favorite anti-heroes of the small and silver screens. Mental illness is all in vogue now. Gee, I wonder why. In fact, and you've probably already noticed this, but the only other theme more fashionable in modern entertainment seems to be ritual magic. You know, the whole process of ascending to stardom smacks of ritual initiation. How many times have you heard, fame changes people? It most certainly does. Celebrities are taught to go beyond embarrassment by enduring it. They're required to subject themselves to humiliating exercises early on, so that by doing so, in the future, nothing will hold them back from practicing their craft. In the occult, it's called a humiliation ritual, or death of the ego. The old self must be broken down and destroyed in order to be rebuilt. You surrender who you were in exchange for what you will be made into. Solve et coagula. Write that down, freaks and freethinkers. It'll come up again. You know, that kind of sounds like something we've been hearing a lot recently. Build back better? My goodness, how deep does this conspiracy go? How far has this occult virus spread? Could it be that Hollywood, the elites, and the governments of the world all have a role to play in the final phases of the Serpent's master plan? Oh my goodness, yes. Just you wait and see. But now, for the record. Satan is alive and active in the world today. He is your mortal enemy with just one goal, to destroy you, body and soul. But the good news is, we have a champion. His name is Jesus. Jesus is the only way to God, and the Bible is our only source for absolute truth. Together, they're our only hope for salvation. I'm Deep Amber, and this is Radio Ghost Town.
Thanks for watching. At Fly By Light Media, we choose freedom over comfort and truth over popularity. We hope you do too.
And you can buy cool FBLM tees and hoodies through the link in the description. And be sure to watch more videos. And together, we are Fly By Light Media, and we rise to shine.